Hello friends, my name is Alise A Préjéan of Knowthyselfandheal.com. Happy Libra season. When the sun ingresses into a new sign, I always like to do a collective card pull from a deck. I kind of switch off decks, and today we're going to do the Black Moon Astrology cards. So just recently we had a new moon in Libra. The sun and moon were conjunct, as in all new moons, in Libra at 2 degrees and some minutes. So almost 3 degrees. And in this new moon, Jupiter was opposing. Jupiter is retrograde. It's in the opposite sign of Libra, which is Aries, and it was in opposition to this new moon. And this is very significant because this really does create this imprint in our own psyches throughout this lunar cycle, in looking at our belief systems, in our beliefs, and how they show up in our relationships, in our relating. And Libra is always going to be about how we're not only relating to ourselves first and foremost, but then how that translates into how we relate to anything and everything and what we see as the outside world, right? And so Libra is guided by or ruled by Venus. And this is the yang form of Venus. Venus is also the planetary guide or ruler of Taurus. And right now the north node of the moon is in Taurus, as you likely know. And so this is where we're collectively, as well as individually, honing in on our own personal, emotional transformation in regards to Taurian consciousness as well as Scorpio consciousness, because the south node is in Scorpio. And so this is really about our own values and our own empowerment. And so it is looking at themes in regards to our personal values, how those values are being updated moment to moment. And this is based on our own evolutionary path, our own personal evolutionary purpose, and how that over time our values can change, because it is really we're being guided by the heart. Venus is the planetary energy that is correlated to the heart chakra. So in our hearts, we can really look at, or we can really hone in on what it is that's actually what we love now, what it is that's guiding us in our own evolutionary journey based on what we love, in our own personal self-love and our own personal self-trust. And that ultimately, if we exist, we are a powerful being, and that we are, as we align with our values in our own love and self-love, self-trust, in our own personal path, that we are aligning with our own power and our own, as I said, evolutionary path. So being that we had a new moon in Libra, a Venus-ruled sign, this is where, after we've determined what our inner values are, what we value, what we love, and our own sense of really self-navigation based on that, then we attract relationships in the outside world, Libra, right? And these relationships are meant to be a resource. Everything in the outside world, or what we perceive to be the outside world, is really reflecting to us what we're valuing on an internal level. And if we've been making the updates based on that Uranus is in Taurus right now, if we've been making those updates, we might be finding that the reflections that we're getting from our relationships or relating in the outside world is reflecting potential transformations that are happening internally, and that relationships that we've had may or may not resonate with our values now. And they may or may not really resonate with what we believe to be our own personal truth now. So with this new moon, Jupiter opposing Sun and Moon, this can be having us really looking at, through this lunar cycle, our belief systems. Is it resonant with the relationships that we have in our lives now? And how are we relating to others' beliefs as well? Mercury is retrograde. It's in Virgo. It's conjunct Venus in this new moon chart. So Venus in Virgo, this is really recognizing we are absolutely connected to Source. We have all that we need in order to grow the quality of consciousness we desire. And we also may need to do some pruning in our garden of consciousness. We may need to, in our own consciousness, in our own desire to relate with others, no matter how different, we may need to prune, make some adjustments to our values in relationships, and making adjustments in how we're potentially communicating, because it's Mercury, right? Or, you know, the communications that we're getting in relationships, you know, they could be informing us if to really look at, is this relationship really resonating now that I am finding that I am aligned with the divine in a new way, and with more information, and aligning with my own self-trust more and more and more as I'm making adjustments in my own psychological development. And so, interestingly, Venus also is in a trine to Pluto retrograde in Capricorn. So this is helping us to really look at what relationships resonate, what do not resonate in regards to our own internal emotional how do I say this? Like emotional recognition of our own, where we desire to funnel our consciousness, and how we desire to build our reality, how we see our own personal reality. And you know, the thing is that our relationships, others may have different beliefs than us, others may have different definitions than us, but those definitions and beliefs are really meant to support us in our own personal evolutionary path. We can take on perceptions and beliefs, and they resonate, right? And then once we grow to a certain level, those perceptions and beliefs may widen. They may actually expand. And so it's not to say that belief or that perception was not true at some point in our life, but that now we have more information as we experience consciousness. We have more. We can actually add to those beliefs. We can recognize those beliefs and those perceptions served us at one point, but they may not serve us in the moment now, because now we know more. We've expanded our consciousness. We've gained more consciousness in regards to who we are and who we are becoming. And you know, Saturn in Aquarius is retrograde. It's been squaring Uranus and Taurus for a while. So this has also really been this internal pressure in our psyche to recognize that we are becoming more, and that we have more awareness now. We are becoming more and more and more aware of what we have to offer, of really everything in consciousness and our experience of being in a body and embodying what we love. So, and as well as our own evolutionary path. So we are becoming more. And so in that, we can recognize that we may be informed in new ways, and that may or may not resonate with others in our lives, which is okay, because ultimately we're all going to be informed in accordance with our own personal evolutionary path. and we're here exploring different themes. So we can have differences in the information and the belief systems that we relate to, and it doesn't necessarily warrant that there's anything wrong. It's more about discernment, and this is what Virgo is all about, right? So that Mercury conjunct Venus in Virgo can really be having us notice where we can implement this Virgoan discernment. So I wanted to give you a bit about this new moon. It's exciting, a really exciting Libra season, I think. We're coming up to eclipse season, and if you don't already know, I am on Facebook, so you can follow me there if you like. You can follow my personal page. I do lives there, and I'm looking to grow my channel so that I can do lives on YouTube as well. I love going on live. I actually tend to come on more often when I can just come on live. So please feel free to share this channel with anyone you think might resonate with the information or might get something out of the information, because as I build my channel, I can come on live and actually give you more information. And so in the meantime, though, you're certainly welcome to follow me on Facebook if you're on Facebook. And also, I do have a group on Facebook that is actually in support of community support. So I'm growing this community. It's called The Labyrinth, A Journey Through the Eclipses. So you can find that on Facebook if you like. I'll see if I can post the link in the comments or in the description here. And so you can look for that if you're interested. And then you're certainly welcome to request to join the group. It is a private group. It's just private so that people feel free to, share in the group as they wish. And so it's, as I said, to support each other through the new moons, the full moons, as well as the eclipses. So if you don't already know, the eclipses just mean that the sun and the moon are either making conjunctions or oppositions within the specific degrees, 10 to 18 degrees of the nodes of the moon. And so it's always nice to also do some practices with the new moon and full moon. So if you're interested in joining, it's a free group, so you're certainly welcome to join. The more the merrier. The more we can share with each other. I do lives there. I also do Zoom calls there, talking about the eclipses. So you're certainly welcome, as I said, to join. So I'm shuffling the cards, and this is really, we're using these astrology cards to synthesize the sun ingressing into Libra. And this can be just a point of focus. We can utilize this individually and collectively as a point of focus in navigating Libra season. I find it's fun to always look at the card we pull and how it really correlates to what we're digesting in consciousness, what we're processing in this particular sign. So wherever you have Libra in your chart, the house that Libra is in, as well as Aries, its opposite sign, is going to be, the sun is shining a light on this part of your life. So the houses always are looking at an aspect of life. And wherever Libra and Aries is, this is what's being highlighted. The sun is shining a light there to give you more information on your own Libran consciousness. I'm going to shuffle one more time, then we're going to pick a card. Okay, so this is the card we get. Such a beautiful card. Neptune. And the Black Moon astrology cards brings a point of focus with Neptune as sacrifice. And this is really interesting that we would pull that card, because Venus in Virgo just opposed Neptune in Pisces. Neptune's in its own sign. This is pretty special because it takes 164 years for Neptune to return back to its own sign. And what Neptune does, Neptune is this essence of the divine. So you can look to see where Neptune is in your birth chart. And this, by house and sign, shows where you sense this divine aspect of yourself and your relationship to what you see as divine. And so Venus and Virgo opposing Neptune, this can have us experiencing sacrifice. And what does this mean? Meaning that Neptune dissolves things. It's like, you know, Pisces and Neptune is where a specific aspect of our lives goes to actually dissolve back into the universal womb, because it's completed, because we've gotten everything we can get out of it. And so this is where we're in this eternal experience of the divine, and it's so vast. It encompasses everything. And so when we have Neptune transits, this is where, you know, the water erodes the rock, so to say, right? So water is a transformative element. When we actually are in water, it transforms us, it cleanses us, right? And it purifies. And so Neptune, with Venus opposing Neptune, this can really have us having relationships dissolve, having even our perceptions around relationships dissolve, because remember, Mercury retrograde conjunct Venus and Venus opposing Neptune, right? Our perceptions about our relationship to ourself, our relationship to what we see as divine, there's something about that is completed, that is dissolving, that is actually, if it doesn't have anything else to serve in our own evolutionary path, it's dissolving. And so this is where the sacrifice comes in, where sacrifice can be this part of us that we have to let go of things. And Pisces is very much about letting go. We have to let go of things so that we can actually incorporate more. And so because the new moon has been opposing Jupiter in Aries, this can also be, and by the way, Jupiter's retrograde is going to retrograde back into Pisces. So this can be dissolving beliefs we've had, because Jupiter is also a planetary guide or ancient guide or ruler to Pisces as well. So Jupiter and Neptune have a special relationship. So we take on beliefs, I believe, which is Pisces, right? We take on beliefs and then they dissolve. So this just shows that beliefs support us in our own essence of the divine for a specific amount of our experience or experiencing consciousness, and then they dissolve. We can let them go so that we can incorporate more consciousness. We can incorporate more experience of the divine and our own divinity. This is why Pisces is also related to glamour and actors and musicians, and because it's like, if you think about like actors, for example, it's like they take on different roles. And then so we have this like particular identity for a minute, you know, and well, let's just say in a movie, right? And then actors then let go of that role, and then they become something else. And we do this as well with our own identities. We actually experience a specific aspects of who we are in our own divine expression, and we have beliefs that support that. And then that specific identity dissolves because we are so vast as a soul and as a spirit. You know, just like as a spirit, we can be experiencing consciousness in the spirit of joy. We can experience consciousness in the spirit of love. We can experience consciousness in the spirit of excitement, of passion. And our passion can be about a lot of different aspects of life, right? So we have so much in our own consciousness to explore, to experience. This is Jupiter as well. And so we have to sacrifice some things in order to really embody other things. And so this can be coming into our experience this month with Libra season, because Venus is the planetary guide to Libra. It in the new moon chart, as well as, you know, it's been opposing that opposing Neptune. Venus will move into Libra as well, and eventually catch up to oppose Jupiter as well. So we likely will be experiencing where we make some sacrifices so that we can experience and express more of our divine nature in really the coming months. And I would say even up to the full moon in Libra and Aries season. They're connected, right? So this new moon is really, if you're working with your intentions, writing and clarifying your intentions are great, and how you want to work with this. And likely when we get into Aries season, a new identity will be emerging, not only in your relationship with yourself, but also then how that translates into how you're relating with others and how others are relating with you, and relationships, even maybe new relationships that emerge because of allowing whatever needs to dissolve to dissolve. So I hope this is helpful. If you have any questions, comments, thoughts, I would love to hear. And if you find this video helpful, please do like it, share it. And if you're not subscribed to my channel, I would be happy to have you as a subscriber if you feel inclined. And I'll see you in the next video.